Good morning, everyone. It was raining again. Everything is just absolutely water now. At the farm, when we have some really dry weather, and the thing is, it in the summertime, 2 days with no rain and scorching heat, and I don't know what, that's all it takes for everything to just really get dry very quickly. So then when it rains, yeah, you can have a couple hours of rain, that'd be great, but it doesn't really soak into the ground then. If you have like 3 or 4 days of ongoing, okay, on and off rain, then yep, everything got really nice watered now, everything got soaked, right? Yes? And to me, it's always a wonder on how certain things just work like that, right? If one has the knowledge, right? Yes, 2 days in a row, say it rains, and people go, yeah, it's raining again. Yeah, you should be grateful it's raining again, right? Yes? The balance is definitely there. Not everywhere. Yeah, it is here. I just saw one where in Israel now, I don't know why suddenly that's a problem now. Maybe it's always been, where Christians and Orthodox Jews kind of are at each other, or the Old Testament believers don't like the New Testament believers, making, I guess, being popular infighting, mainly infighting. So I wondered, again, what's the purpose of war with another people? Well, at one point it was for territory, right? Yes, people establishing themselves somewhere in the world, I don't know. Then it went to, territory, but you already got enough. Why do you need more? Right? Yes. Oftentimes it was to not be invaded, or to be free, right? Yep. To get away from under the yoke of someone else that you're not being treated very well by. Today I have to ask, why do we have wars? For the same reasons, except for who still needs territory. So the attackers, I wonder, what do you want? What is it you want that you don't already have? And it seems to go back to what? Most of the time. It goes back to religion. It seems to always go back to religion. What I find is, reading the Old Testament till now, that there's one thing that God is interested in, and that is eradicate things that are bad for you, yourself, your family, your community, and your nation. Eradicate that out of existence, out of your lives. And stay focused, right? Yes, on what it means to live on earth, right? Yes. Do animals or plants wonder about that? They don't. Right? But they're under the principles of creation. We're under the principles of love. So why can't two groups within one people not just peacefully coexist, having certain some doesn't seem really important. Different beliefs, but they all love what? The one God, right? Yes? Well, there you go. Well, anyway, so, let's get going here. I slept so good, I'm having a hard time coming out of my sleep. One night, no sleep. The other night, yes, yeah. Anyway, the one dog here, baby we have, was more bothered by the storm we had last night than I was. I mean, it was thundering and lightning. The only reason I knew is because she woke me up. She wanted to get on the bed, and I'm like, haha, no dogs on my bed. So she was just fine. You can lay right here next to my bed. Yeah, you don't need to be on top of me just because you're scared of the storm, right? Yes, a dog. Baby. There's a reason she's called Baby. Huge dog. All right. Okay. Judges 2. Where are you going with all this? I have no idea. I told you guys to guide me this morning. I don't have much to say. All right. The Judges 2. The angel of Yahweh tells Israel of disasters to come. Oh, there we go. Oh, look, all the foreboding stuff. Right? This is where that started. Ugh, okay, all right. The angel of Yahweh went up from Gilgal to Bethel. Wait a minute. That's an odd beginning. The angel of Yahweh went up from Gilgal to Bethel and said, they traveled. On foot. Alrighty then. On vacation? Alright, okay. I have brought you out of Egypt and led you into this country. Everybody takes, that's another good one. It doesn't say Yahweh says, to tell me, to tell you. It says, I have brought you out of Egypt and led you into this country, which I promised on oath to your ancestors. I said, I shall never break my covenant with you. You, for your part, must make no covenant with the inhabitants of this country. You will destroy their altars, but you have not listened to my voice. What is the reason for this? Very well, I now say this. I am not going to drive these nations out before you. They will become your oppressors, and their gods will be a snare for you. When the angel of Yahweh had spoken these words to all the Israelites, the people began to wail at the top of their voices, and they called the place Bochim, and offered sacrifices to Yahweh there. Oh, well, one thing that tells me, I wasn't there, don't know, but if this is true, the Israelites weren't doing so well, right? I mean, if they would be doing just fine, they'd look at that angel and go, well, we're doing just fine. Okay, so whatever. And so far nothing else has happened, so I'm not going to, this doesn't have anything to do with us, and we're just going to keep going. But they started wailing, this, that. So I'm assuming they're not doing all that well. Right? Some things aren't going their way. Here comes the angel and says, well, I'll tell you why it's not going your way, but you're not willing to. You're not willing to put in the work. There you go. So many things have been made possible for you. You've been given so much good guidance, this and that. Well, but you don't want to. You want to do whatever you want to do. Okay. Ooh. We're still in chapter 2. second super chapter. Super chapter number 2. Second introduction. I wonder if the Bible were written today, if it would be a little bit more interesting. It could be. I don't know. A lot more added to it. All right. General reflections on the period of the judges. Joshua, having dismissed the people, the Israelites then went away, each one to his own heritage, to occupy the country. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, second. We had the first introduction. Second introduction. Okay. Oh, dear me. One of my thumbs is... It's like... Arthritis is one of those things, right? It doesn't always bother you. It just comes and goes. And you can tell, there's another knot forming somewhere. There's another... And you have to just wait it out until it's done. Then you're pain-free again. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. But the mobility of my thumb right now. It's hard to even hold my book. Oh. It's all right. Offer it up for a suffering child out there. I can take the pain. Children shouldn't be in pain like that. It's just not right. So I'll take it. There. Got a good hand. Just use that one. Okay, so here we go again. So, The people served Yahweh throughout the lifetime of Joshua and throughout the lifetime of those elders who outlived Joshua and had known all the great deeds which Yahweh had done for the sake of Israel. Well, something else comes to my mind right here that also went through my mind. Don't the great deeds of God continue? They're always there. It's just when people become comfortable and where they are at, they start forgetting to look for all that. They forget the relationship that brought them where they are now. Right? Yes? Isn't that still like that today? But where it's all here, this was thousands of years ago. And now, after Joshua and the elders, people who have witnessed, per se, were a part of the migration and all that, and the difficulties and some of the things that happened there that were miraculous in a way, right? Yes? It's becoming a part of the past? Well, what else is becoming a part of the past then? Right? Yes? Interesting. Joshua, son of Nun, servant of Yahweh, was 110 years old when he died. He was buried on an estate which he had received as his taunts. Of Beth Shemesh and of Beth Anat were subjected to... Oh, wait a minute. What am I saying? No. He was buried on this estate which he had received as his heritage. At Timnath Heres in the highlands of Ephraim, north of Mount Gosh. Wait a second, isn't he a part of the Levites? They're not supposed to inherit anything. I'm not getting it. And when the whole generation had been gathered to its ancestors, another generation followed it, which knew neither Yahweh nor the deeds which he had done for the sake of Israel. Oh. Religious interpretation of the period of the judges. One could just... Now see, now these Orthodox, they're young scholars, Orthodox Jews. It'd be interesting to go through with them and say, okay, explain this. What is going on here? And why are you doing kind of the same thing right now? Not letting people go in and listen about Jesus. I mean, it's not like your old traditions and all. It's not still the Ten Commandments. Still, that's never going to go away. Be interesting to have a conversation with these young people. I wonder if one can have one. Right? Shouting over each other, this or that. I bet you they're even, well, no, it's like this. Well, no, it's like that. I read it like that. Well, I understand it like this. Right? But it would be interesting. So, okay, so here you're young people. You defend the Old Testament in a way. So let's have it. But what is going on here? Right? But anyway, that'd be interesting. Huh? Enjoy that? I'll probably be all on the cell phone going and check out which part I'm talking about. Okay, all right, Daniela. Sorry. The Israelites then did what is evil in Yahweh's eyes and served the Baals. Oh, they deserted Yahweh, God of their ancestors. But it doesn't take long. Once people start feeling good, this and that doesn't take long. And then when things go bad, they're all back to, wailing and this and that. Yeah, it's still today like that. Who had brought them out of Egypt, and they followed other gods from those of the surrounding peoples. Well, I thought they were all killed, just about. And then they became their slaves. Not happen. This didn't happen then. That tells me that did not happen. So what are these stories all in here? They bowed down to these. They provoked Yahweh. They deserted Yahweh to serve Baal and Astartes. Then Yahweh's, well, who the heck is that now? Then Yahweh's anger grew hot against Israel. He handed them over to pillagers who plundered them. He delivered them to the enemies surrounding them, and they were no longer able to resist their enemies. Whenever they mounted an expedition, Yahweh's hand was there to foil them. That's not true. That's not how God works. As Yahweh had told them, and as Yahweh had sworn to them, so that they were in dire distress. You know, what I found with things like this, when they have to say, yeah, well, wrong place, wrong time, luck ran out, right? Yes? There are a few, very few instances where to say that was not avoidable in a way. I mean, there was no way that could have been predicted in any way. That was really, most of the time, if the people, certain things happen, if the people really were to go back and look for the cause on why they're suddenly in the situations that they are in, this and where you feel, I'm all left alone, there's nothing for me to live anymore, this and that, they would find that they've made their own choices. They have. Not talking children, I'm talking adults here. They've made their own choices. The warnings were there. God was there letting them know, child, please do not do that. An adult child, don't. You had the warnings. Often from someone, don't go there. I wouldn't go there if I were you. Don't go and attend. We know too much about what's going on out there. Even if there's just one person in a crowd of 100 has bad intentions, one or two, maybe more, of that crowd of 100 could get hurt. Severely, right? That's just... What did I say about driving? When you drive a car. If the people would just follow the laws, especially the laws of God, the Ten Commandments, then how much could be avoided? Oh, because God made it so happen? No, because we're making it all happen together. Yes? It's the same here for the Israelites. The Israelites didn't really ever seem to work together. If they would have, then they wouldn't suddenly. You don't, as a nation that works, is united and works together under the laws of heaven, you can't be easily invaded. You can't be, it's not going to happen. And even if it happens, the pushback will be easy. Yes, it's true. It just is true. And then, when you let too much other stuff slide that shouldn't be there, where then, all them false gods, false ideologies, false I don't know what, suddenly becomes greater in place and then accepted and then suddenly infiltrates your life, that's going to be very difficult to push back, to right things again. No. Let's take that person. Let's figure out what's going on with it, with a person. Do I believe that anybody that thinks differently should be immediately put to death or whatever? No, absolutely not. I find out the cause of the suffering of someone, or certain ideas that suddenly spring up in their mind, where you say, wait a minute, you're not living in reality anymore. Now you're inventing things that don't exist. And what are you going to do with things that are just not really there? They're castles in the skies, and they eventually blow away. Yes? Sandcastles on the sand. Tide comes in, it's washed away. What are you going to do? It's gone. Well, you didn't think of that? No, just saying. Yes? No. So I see here, shortly after, Joshua passed away. So I said, where's the next leader here? The Israelites started doing what? And obviously, there were enough other people around them. The Israelites are supposed to be a great people by now, a great nation. People were scared of them. There were so many of them. Yet what happened? Did the Israelites absorb the people around them and taught them about God, the one God? Or was it the other way around? And why? Well, interesting to me. The teachings just went missing. Interesting too, Yahweh doesn't have a direct connection to someone anymore. He had to send an angel who took credit in a way. Oh, interesting. I'm just saying. Yahweh then appointed them judges who rescued them from the hands of their plunderers. But even to their judges they refused to listen. They prostituted themselves to other gods and bowed down before these. Very quickly they left the path which their ancestors had trodden in obedience to the orders of Yahweh. If the ancestors truly would have done that, then the children would have still followed. There wouldn't be this much other stuff going on. And see, as I said, the Israelites had problems from the beginning. It's not easy. I get it. I understand that too. They did not follow their example. When Yahweh appointed judges for them, Yahweh was with the judge and rescued them from the hands of their enemies as long as the judge lived. Since Yahweh relented at their groans under their persecutors and oppressors. But once the judge was dead, they relapsed into even worse corruption than their ancestors. They followed other gods. They served them and bowed before them and would not give up the practices and stubborn ways of their ancestors. Oh, see, here it comes. They followed other gods, they served them and bowed before them and would not give up the practices and stubborn ways of their ancestors at all. Why foreign nations survived in Canaan. Yahweh's anger then blazed out against Israel, and he said, since this people has broken the covenant which I laid down for their ancestors, since they have not listened to my voice, in future I shall not drive before them any one of those nations which Joshua left when he died, in order by means of them to put Israel to the test, to see whether or not they would tread the paths of Yahweh as once their ancestors had trodden them. Hence Yahweh allowed these nations to remain. He did not hurry to drive them out and did not deliver them into the hands of Joshua. That's the end of 2. Interesting. We're getting a completely different account here. And again, who is... not make this a long one. I have to get ready and go house it today. Now, That's it. So who's getting blamed again? God. God's not doing anything. Then when he does anything, he does it conditional, this, that, and I don't know what. Yeah. I've mentioned this so many times in the videos as well. God's unconditional. We have absolute free will. We do. Absolutely. And he'll never take that away from us. Our heavenly parents will never, ever take that away from us. We choose. And the way we choose, how we decide to choose, we either get closer to our origin, our own origin, or farther away in the physical. Because you pass away, guess where you are at after that? And then what? You're going to be completely lost in spirit world. Don't know where you're at. Don't know where you're going. When you're that confused going to spirit world, guess what? I know people have this idea of hell. Yes. It's most likely all another castle in the sky, saying castles on the sand when it comes to hell and spirit world. So it's not God. God just can't be a part of it. Well, if you're serving some other God, this, that, what does that leave? Where does that leave our heavenly parents? What are they supposed to do? I guess there's a reason why we have the story of the prodigal son in the Bible as well. Yes? How about the story of Job? Okay. Many others. Tell us why. When you're going down a certain path, disregard your own safety, the safety of others around you. Yes? Start to abuse the environment. Start to abuse yourself, the people around you, and the environment that you are born into. People get rich doing that. So, for the Israelites, again, well, the reason whatever happened there to them that wasn't good was what? Chalked up to what? Well, God got angry because, no, he's not. He most likely, God was just, this didn't work out. I can't protect him anymore now. Not because he didn't want to. It's because the Israelites made their own choices. God just couldn't be there anymore. He's not going to go and compete against false gods. He's going to have to just wait till they wake up again. Go, oh, we need to get back to. And then you have to start cleaning up the mess. That's not pretty either. So Judges, from what I understand right now, and what that meant, that God was trying to put somebody else in place. Someone that still had the willingness to and knew about what God wanted, what God needed from the people, and what the people actually needed to really live this prosperous, successful, wonderful life on earth, with all its little this not going along as well. Can't stop everything, as I said before. There are few instances where wrong time, wrong place is, and that only happens again. Why? Mostly because of other people. Right? Yes? It's not God. God's not doing any of it. We are the ones who choose, decide. So the Israelites, there they go. Brought them out of Egypt, out of slavery, and it doesn't take long, a couple hundred years, 300 years maybe. And they're starting to become what again to other people? Wow. Interesting. Anywho. So there it is. Joshua. Joshua, I'm still in Joshua. Well, it feels like we still are. So, but the judges, okay, the people that God put in place, right? That angel of Yahweh, who was that? Maybe someone says, goes and tells us, hey, are you guys forgetting? Are you already forgetting? I'm still walking that path. God said to me to go and tell you guys, to remind you. Right? Yes? So these judges, most likely, not named. That angel of Yahweh is not named. Oh, but the gods, the other gods, God of Baal, and then that Ash to something, they're named. That's interesting, don't you think? Yeah, man. So here they are. So God had probably sent. Okay, that person's still with me. I can still communicate with this particular person within Israel. I'm going to send that person. And see if I can still make a difference now. Yeah. I find it sad that things have to get so bad in certain places until the people say, either die or say, no, this is enough. This is not working. We've got to get on a different path. And the only right path is to start listening to God. 10 Commandments, the Lord's Prayer, and the family pledge. Done. It always comes out to the same. It doesn't change. It will not change. People want to change it. People want to change these things, right? They want to change the 10 Commandments. So okay, then we can actually. Then it's okay, right? You can't. Don't get to do that. The Lord's Prayer, same thing. People want to change certain things. And it's probably translated wrong, right? Because no, it's. Again, just want to get around certain things, right? Yeah. Family pledge, same thing. It's already happening with the family pledge. Right? Yes? Yeah. As well. Disregard it altogether. It's new enough. Right? Family pledge, just disregard it altogether. We don't need that. Because some people don't, infighting, some people don't like. Well, it doesn't matter what you're going to tell me about whatever. There's a point in the family pledge that says, same thing as one of the 10 Commandments, you honor thy father and thy mother. Done. Yes? Okay. All right, so there you go. And again, if one has parents that aren't so, weren't even there, don't even know who they are, there's still one thing, how one honors them regardless. First of all, they gave life to you. And the other thing, just don't say anything bad about them. Right? Yes? And pray for them. Yes? Done? I'd say, regardless, simple example, your life will be more peaceful and harmonious. Yes? When you have that type of mindset. And forgiveness and love, yes, in action, always get you further. Will always get you further. For then your own family is not. Then anger and resentment. Love and forgiveness and love is constructive, goes towards restoration. Anger and resentment is just destructive. just is. Yes. All right, there you go. That's it. Gotta go. Got someplace to be today, so I gotta get ready. Judges. That'll be interesting. And again, we think we're finding some things out here that don't quite compute again. Don't overlap. Rather go against each other from what we read before. Yes. What should have been and what has been. Two different things. That's what it sounds like to me. All right. Well, that's it for today. God's love and blessings always. May He protect you, and I will talk to you another time.